Welcome to the show. This is Anne speaking. I am really excited to share with you this interview with Marilyn Segal, and I am appreciating how I'm able to share with you our discussion that was very angelic, very informative and inspiring. And I especially appreciated understanding a little bit more about Marilyn's journey to her spontaneous healing. And I'm envisioning a lot of viewers and listeners out there can relate on some level to her journey and or are inspired by her journey, and it will help you somehow in your journey to awakening and your journey to mind body spirit healing. I actually met this lovely person at a holistic fair here in Georgia. I participated rather in her facilitating an angel circle, offering some angel healing. And I really appreciated what she said and the energy that she opened up in the healing circle and how we were all able to have our own therapeutic experience. And I also really appreciated that she is a spiritual healer who talks about angels, and she is one of those angelic practitioners around whom through whom you can really feel the presence of angels. You can really feel the angelic realm when you connect with Marilyn Segal. And when I was participating in this group, I thought I must have Miss Segal on my podcast, and I was lucky enough. She said yes. So get ready for this interview. As you're getting ready to be blown away, I'm gonna read you a little bit more about Marilyn, and then I'll transition over to our interview. And Marilyn and I actually tuned in to the energy for the week ahead, both of us, at the end of the interview. So we'll share the collective reading for this week ahead at the end, as per usual, what I do. Marilyn Segal is an author, spiritual healer, and life purpose coach devoted to helping people awaken to their greatest gifts, inner strengths, and soul-aligned purpose. Her journey into healing began after a life-changing acupuncture session that brought instantaneous relief from a lifetime of back pain. After 16 years as a dental hygienist, this profound experience ignited Marilyn's own spiritual awakening and set her on a new path, one dedicated to becoming a beacon of hope, health, and healing for others. Today, she is recognized as a gifted and compassionate healer whose work transforms lives from the inside out. For those seeking clarity about why they're here, Marilyn offers deeply insightful life purpose sessions. Trained by the International Institute of Hand Analysis, she uses the wisdom encoded in your unique fingerprints, your soul's blueprint, to uncover your life purpose and life lessons. Marilyn believes your fingerprints are a window to your soul, revealing the true mission you came here to fulfill. These sessions illuminate what she calls your soul's agenda. Marilyn's work quite literally places clients in the company of angels. A certified angel therapist, trained by world-renowned angel communicator Doreen Virtue, Marilyn blends intuitive angel guidance with her own healing energies, creating readings that are both profound and heart-centered. She's the author of 3 inspirational books. Her latest, 5 Reasons Why You're Here on Earth, is a soulful guide for spiritual evolution, beautifully illustrated with Marilyn's original artwork and designed as a companion for conscious soul growth. Her first book, The Heart Speaks, Creating Your Own Heaven on Earth, delivers motivational and spiritual insights in an engaging, uplifting style, again featuring her own hand-drawn illustrations. Marilyn also collaborated with her identical twin sister on the autobiography, Whose Illness Is It Anyway? A powerful story of twin sisters navigating health challenges and discovering healing through unity. The book includes a testimonial by Dr. Brian Weiss. Marilyn has been featured on the TBS documentary The Heart of Healing and was a guest on the Al Cole's nationally syndicated talk show People of Distinction, airing on CBS Radio, NPR, BBC, and the #1 iTunes radio network. To explore Marilyn's full range of services, book, and artwork, please visit MarilynSegal.com. That's MarilynSegal.com. Now, without further ado, here is the interview with Marilyn Segal. Enjoy. Oh,
And Vivian Ann, comma, Ann or Vivian.
call me whatever combination you want, Marilyn.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to have you on the show. So I thought, well, first of all, how was your day going? How are you faring in this thunderstorm?
Well, I know that there's a rainbow somewhere right now. And yeah, and it's funny because I didn't know the rain was coming and I didn't know the storm was coming, but it's all perfect. And we had a little bit of trouble getting on today. So that's hilarious.
It was
Roll
my
with the
trouble getting
punches.
on. For the record, it was my trouble getting on. But maybe I manifested the rainbow. So there you go.
Okay. And there's sort of a rainbow behind me.
Do you see it or do you feel it coming?
Did I feel the interview coming or the rainbow coming?
The rainbow.
No, but I know it's out there. I can
You
feel
know
it.
it's out there.
Yeah.
We're manifesting it together. Yes. So, Marilyn, I wanted to ask you, you've written these fabulous books. I have one here that I want to talk a little bit about, The Heart Speaks, Creating Your Own Heaven on Earth. And I've heard you talk about angels. I want to ask you a couple different questions to share your angel magic and healing magic with my audience. But I'd like to ask you first, you are known as an angel healer. I definitely feel a very strong angelic presence when I talk with you, when I just connect with you. And you've been working with angels for how long now?
Well, all my life, but unbeknownst to me, about consciously 36 years. No,
Consciously 36 years,
36
but
years.
we've been working with angels since before we were born. But
Right.
but 36 years. Let me ask you, what was the initial impetus for you connecting consciously with the angels? How did you first consciously
It was
connect?
really during my own healing journey. I didn't know that I was going to have a healing. I was in pain for 27 years after a back injury when I was young. And I have a twin sister, which you've already met. And she wished one day that she could help me. And she didn't know the universe was listening to her. And within 2 weeks, her immune system broke down. And it literally pulled me out of my profession as a dental hygienist to become her full-time caregiver for 3.5 years. And that's how we learned about energy and frequency. And this is way before I learned. We didn't even know about Reiki back then.
Yeah.
But in my toolbox, I've put a lot of healing tools in there. But not only did I do that, I had Carolyn and I decided to be treated as one person in an acupuncture session. Now, we didn't know about attention, we didn't know about intention. I just got the idea, and I'm assuming that at that time, because I was still unconscious about my spiritual team, that I was guided to say, hey, we need to be treated as one person. And we had little along our path, we had information coming to us. Maybe you all need to look at yourself as one person. And we heard it from doctors, but we thought that they were weird, so don't shoot the messenger. All I gotta say, don't shoot the messenger. But so during the acupuncture session, I knew the doctor was going to treat her lungs because that's where her issue was. And I knew he was going to treat my back. We just happened to be in the same room at that time. And no sooner did he get out the door, I went into full-blown attack with my pain. I thought I was going to pass out. That's how intense it was.
Wow.
And Carolyn started talking to me. And she says, Marilyn, feel the pain and go into it. And I'm thinking, what does that mean? Now, what does that mean?
Hmm.
And that's when everything started opening up for me. My mother, who had passed away when we were 11, she appeared and she walked me through my healing, but I didn't even know I was having a healing. So I was literally watching a movie of myself and my mother's energy and unfold, and I was watching and feeling what was happening in my body. So I was really awakened not only to the spiritual connection, but also the inner connection and what was happening inside of me. So in those 30 minutes, I would say in a nanosecond, I was downloaded healing gifts. I was downloaded information that I had never known about. And I was instantaneously connected to the higher frequencies of love. And so, and that's when the angels started talking to me. It's going to be close, all this stuff. And I'm going, oh, okay. And who's talking? But it wasn't like a voice like you and I are talking. It was
Okay.
a thought form. And when we get still, we can hear what to do. And it's amazing because most of us are so busy. We're running here and there and trying to figure things out ourselves. If we just took the time to pause and say, what's my next step? Where do I go from here? And you shut your eyes, and what you do is you're signaling yourself to go inward. And in that small, small pause, you will know what to do. It's really, I call it the quiet pause because it's the information coming in.
Oh, what a fascinating story. I've heard you talk about your spontaneous healing before, how there was sort of before the healing and after the healing and things just really shifted in that acupuncture session. But I didn't realize the sequence of events. And it's so fascinating that what was part of the process of this healing unfolding, and correct me if I'm wrong, was there was a bidding, there was an asking for help. Then there was a really painful, difficult experience that was a growth experience for both you and your twin sister. And in that painful experience, you both learned so much about, all of these different topics, and that opened you up to a whole new world.
Right.
And then from after that piece of the journey, after that chapter, you were in the right place to experience this profound instantaneous healing and awakening. But it was connected. It was all connected. Is that accurate?
Yeah, it's interesting because we don't know that there's light at the end of the tunnel. This is a human experience. We just don't know. If a doctor tells you you're going to have to learn to live like this, you're going to have pain, you're
Mhm.
suffering, this is the way it is, your teachers tell you this, your parents tell, it's like we're so covered with the negativity, a blanket of negativity. And sometimes we have several blankets on top. It could be not just this lifetime, it could be a past life or several past lives, but we're here. And I say this, you can only heal in the present moment. So if you're ready for a healing, I tell people when they're coming, when they make the appointment with me, they're already in the healing. Even if it's 2, 3 weeks out, you're already in the vibration
Yeah.
of things coming up. And what that I love that because it's almost like the light's been turned on so you can see it.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
there's participation of you that's needed in order to, I mean, everybody's has their own unique journey to healing, but I see that as a pattern. I see that
Yeah.
as a pattern. If someone has started to become awake, if someone has started to connect and ask and be present, you're now already shifting the energy, and then that's fertile for, something even more powerful, or, that we label as more of a miracle to happen.
Right. And and Vivian, it's funny because colors. I'm always attracted to colors. I'm like a kid in a s- in La La Land with rainbows when I go to La Michaels and stuff like that. But really, if you're attracted to somebody's energy, be around them because there's a vibration that is there that is going to uplift you. If you don't like somebody's vibration, don't be around them. And it's not that you don't like them, it just doesn't resonate with you.
Mm.
And with Carolyn and I, we were like the blind leading the blind because we didn't have any information. We didn't have anyone helping us. We didn't know to ask God, the universe, or even the angels for help. We just, inched our way through like an earthworm, inched our way through life until we both had our own journey. I awakened first because I had my instantaneous healing. And I wondered why Carolyn didn't, because I wasn't like, it was so fast. And I say fast, in 27 years of pain, in 30 minutes, you're a different vibration, it's fast.
Yeah.
But I wondered why Carolyn wasn't freed at the same time. And we would have chalked it up as a twin experience because we had always had twin experiences. One of us would be rushed to the hospital for one thing, and the other one would be in another state at the same time. It was just like eerie, but we didn't think anything of it. It was just our life. And then 3 months after my instantaneous healing, Carolyn had a near-death experience. and she met my mother on the other side. So I
Oh,
met my mother on this side, and Carolyn met our mother on the other side. And so we were able to bridge heaven and earth. And when we began healing, helping other people heal, because we're not doing it, we're just bringing the vibration, we're just bringing the information. And it's amazing. There's so many stories, but the main thing is we're all here to heal our hearts. We're all here to move to our next level of evolution. And, even with the life purpose blueprints that I do, I think that was the thread that helped me find my path, my journey, and how I am here to serve on earth. And I didn't even know about it until, you meet the person that's supposed to help you.
yeah,
And it so righted everything, because I became a healer at the same time. I started writing, and then I started the art. I mean, literally, I did not know how to bring the colors in. My guides, my team, it showed me, I had no clue. So it all came together, and now I just use all the gifts intertwined, and it's my blueprint. It's my blueprint, and what I do is I help uplift people because we're here to help we're helping others pull them forward. We can't do it for them. We can only lift our hand, put our hand out.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, definitely. I've heard that before about identical twins, that there's often a psychic connection, a paranormal, AKA normal, but we haven't accepted some things yet, psychic connection. And it's so interesting to hear about you and your twin sister and how you have these twin adventures. Well, a lot of the things that you're talking about remind me of what I'm writing about in the workbook that I'm currently composing, which is based off of a workshop I do, Trust Your Unique Process. And it talks about there's different dimensions of co-creating. It's not just thinking about it. It's not just, affirmations. It's not just taking action. It's doing the work. It's understanding there's earthly dimensions and emotional dimensions and spiritual dimensions and there's your part, but there's also letting go and the surrender. And you can't make someone get it. All you can do is, offer the support and be in that vibration and tend to your vibration. So it's funny because I can hear pieces of that as you talk about your experiences and how it didn't just sort of poof land on you. You co-created that, and so did your sister. And I love sharing stories like this. I love hearing stories like this. I love sharing stories like this with my audience because I think you remind us everyone has the ability to shift into the extraordinary, and everyone has the ability to co-create healings and awakenings and to find their unique journey. And you didn't start off just, knowing how to do all of this. It was a process, and it was a surrender, and it was a learning. And um, so I think that's so cool to hear, just some Reader's Digest points of it. I wanted to talk about your fabulous book, The Heart Speaks: Creating Your Own Heaven on Earth. This book, it's so fun and whimsical. It has Marilyn's sketches in here. It has her own illustrations
And my own handwriting.
and your own handwriting. And so it's very it's simple and whimsical and childlike, yet it has some really deep spiritual thoughts and really practical tools as well. I like how you start with, remember when you were a kid, and you have all of these different examples of helping us remember that childlike wonder. And then, you shift into talking about really helpful spiritual and practical and emotional tools for creating your heaven on earth. Do you mind telling our audience what was your inspiration for this book?
My inspiration after my healing, people found out about me. I never really advertised that I was a healer because I'm not doing it, but people would find out about my story and started coming for sessions and it seemed to me like when they would leave, I'd get the information. I was out of sync. I'd get the information after they left and I'd call them and I'd say, oh, this is what just came through. I didn't know I was channeling. I didn't know I was psychic. I didn't know any of these things. I just knew that I got the information. And I would be also, I'd sit in my chair and I would ask a question. I didn't know I was doing automatic writing. And so this is how I would ask a question and the answer would just come through me.
Yes.
So, that's where the book came from. And then when I was just playing with it, I was just writing little chapters. It was after my clients. And one day I read them to my husband and he goes, this is a cute little book. This could be a little book. And, I'm thinking, really? And so anyway, so that's where it came from. But you know what? It's really funny because I didn't even know I was doing that. And I was writing the book, Whose Illness Is It Anyway, with my twin sister, because that's really where we thought the work was and where our writing needed to be going and how I wanted to share our adventure. It was really it was a mystical awakening, mystical, because we didn't know that we were even intertwined like we were. We had to go between the cells in order to heal. So this is why our work is so unique, is because we know how, as twins, to go between the cells. And what I really like after I became a life purpose coach, I wrote the book, 5 Reasons Why You're Here on Earth. And I like that because it's the theme. And I realized just recently, my theme is I'm here to help people on earth. But the 5 reasons why we're really here on earth is to grow our hearts. We're here learning. Earth is a school and it's a hard school. And we're here to get through the muck, get through the junk, go through the stresses, the traumas and the dramas, and realize that these are lessons. These are here to help you. If you don't like how you're showing up, you're the only one who can change it. And it's really everybody in your field is a mirror to how you're showing up. And so um, we're here to grow our hearts. We're here to grow beyond what we know, beyond the 5 senses of touch, taste, smell. I call it clarinasal, smelling when spirits come in, smelling a flower that you might need or an ointment you might need. You might smell it before you know what it is. And it's just really cool when you go beyond what we've been taught as a human being.
Hmm. I love that mindset, looking at the traumas and the dramas, as you say, as part of the reason you're here on earth, to grow, to learn. And if you can change your perspective, it changes your relationship with life. And it also can change, and tell me if you agree with this or not, Marilyn, it can also change the trajectory of your life and how those lessons appear as you change your attitude and your frequency.
Absolutely. And I think in my life purpose blueprints, I look at your fingerprints and I can see your lessons. And when you know it's a lesson, get it. That's all it is. Get it.
Yeah.
Because if you want to keep on repeating it, then you're not really aware that you keep on getting the same lesson. And I think the light bulb moment goes off when I say, this is a lesson for you.
Yeah. Well, speaking of lessons, I see the experiences that you went through and your twin sister, Caroline. It's Caroline?
Carolyn. Mhm.
Carolyn, as part of your blueprint, part of your contract, so that you could share that with others. You could share that with the world, and you can share how you learn from it. And I love listening to other people's stories. I think we need to. Oh, I'm getting a message that my computer is on low battery because the cord fell out. Mercury retrograde. And needs to learn lessons about patience with technology. Okay, it's plugged in. We're good to go. Um, what was I saying? We were talking about lessons, and I think it's really important that we see each other and other people's stories. We feel our own. we feel our own feelings and challenges and see someone and resonate with someone else going through that. That's, I think, a really important human experience. And to listen to someone who's gone through really difficult challenges with your sister's health, your health, pain, and to be able to hear you overcome it. I think that, that's it's such a sacred gift. But you wouldn't have been able to share it, of course. I know I'm not saying something super um, intellectually profound, but it's emotionally and spiritually profound, in my opinion, to recognize the sacredness of having to go through that in order to be able to offer that to others as a healer.
Right. And we all know what we came here for. Life doesn't happen to us, it happens for us. Because we have the council of light before we come in here. I know that's stretching some people, but and we don't.
I don't think it's stretching most people who tune into my show, Marilyn.
That's right. That's right. But we're double, Kelvin and I are double Aquarian. So we're information people. We have arrived because we're in the age of Aquarius now. So it's almost like, okay, God says, okay, universe says, okay, source says, it's time to do what you came here to do. And I'm just loving it because I get to meet new people. I get to meet newbies that are ready to awaken. And every night in my prayers, I'm blessing those that are still asleep because they're still asleep, but they're still going to wake up eventually. Maybe not this lifetime, but they're still going to wake up.
Yes. Um, Also, I like the mindset a lot. I like the mindset a lot. I was wondering, as we're coming to the end of our interview, if you wouldn't mind sharing with our audience who's new to angels, who'd like to work more with the angels, what's something simple someone could do if they'd like to begin a practice of communicating more with the angelic realm?
It doesn't hurt to test them, to test them. Um, Whenever I get in the car, I call in my angels. Angels, we're going to go to the grocery store. It's like you and me and Vivian, we're having a conversation. If you don't have the conversation, they're only there watching you. Your guardian angel is there to protect you. You may have a couple angels, extra angels to protect you. But if you don't ask for help, if you don't ask them, hey, I need to find a chiropractor, I need to find a practitioner that's going to help me go to my next level. If you don't ask it, it's not going to happen. If you think about it, it's still in your mindset. But when you say it, you're letting it out. So your voice is very present. When Carolyn wanted to help me, she said to God, God, I want to help Marilyn. How can I help her? And then all of a sudden she gets sick. She literally pulled me out of dentistry because dentistry, my time was up there.
Yeah. And you
My
both
time
had
was
other
up.
things to learn.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
both had things to go. We had to get on with our life.
Yeah.
Um, and some people don't want to. When you're in resistance, you're going to get the persistence. You're going to get the push and the nudges. So allow yourself to go to the next level. Ask for help.
So it makes a big difference. It makes a big difference to ask out loud versus asking silently.
Well, both of them. You can, because when you write, you're writing from your heart. Oh, I'd really like to find a romance in my life. I'd really like to have that partner that I can grow with. You're writing it from your heart, but you're also writing it through your hands and you're putting it on physical form.
Yes.
And then you can blow some energy into, you can blow a kiss into the paper. I don't care, but just be silly because we as human beings, we've become so serious
Yes.
and we need to lighten up. The
Yes.
spirits are joyful. They're happy. They want you to be happy, but
And I
they
get
can't
that. I
make you
totally
happy.
get that from your book. Your book makes me laugh, and I can feel that energy. So say it in your mind, say it out loud, write it, but call on them and test them and then see what happens.
Right. Angels, I need a parking place. I got to run into the store. It's raining. Oh, somebody's backing out. Thank you.
Yeah. I
Don't
think
forget.
that's great advice. I think it's
Yeah,
great advice.
it's
It
really
reminds me,
simple.
um, we forget to ask, don't we? It reminds me of when I have clients or students ask me, how can I really take my intuition to the next level? My number one answer is always you have to program your belief that you can, A, and B, the second most, these are both the most important things. Keep a psychic journal. When you actually record what you think is an intuition, you find out you're having intuitions, but you're not necessarily thinking of them and recording them. And so with the angels, actually ask and then notice what happens. It's so simple, yet it's so powerful.
Right.
So pay attention. And that's the intuitive journal is paying attention and actually engaging with it and asking your angels, paying attention. Now I'm engaging with it, and I can also maybe have the opportunity to prove to my analytical mind, hey, there's actually things happening here.
Yeah, and I think because I'm a twin, so I think with me, I've got this more childlike energy than Carolyn. Not that one's better or the other, but when you like kids, when they're little, they think they can do anything. And so the secret is when you can tap into that childlike knowing, that belief, and bring in your wisdom, you've got a gold mine there.
Integrate those energies, synthesize them.
Right. Yeah. Integrate, play it, use it, live it.
Marilyn, I am going to switch gears and share an intuitive collective reading for the week ahead. Would you like to join me?
Yes. Can I read? I pulled one of my angel blessing cards. Can I read this one first?
Yeah, so let's tune into the energy for the week ahead. This is for I'm so delighted. Marilyn's gonna partner with me. We're gonna be the reading twins today. This is for March 9th, 2026. Whenever you're tuning in, if the message resonates, then go with it. But so tuning into the energy for this weekend, what's the card you pulled? I'd love to see.
Observe where you are right now. What do you need to let go of? What have you outgrown? Get yourself moving and get it done. It's just that simple.
It feels like it's connected with this past eclipse energy. The moon is also waning. What do you need to let go of? Yes.
Whatever it is. I mean, maybe it's just resistance, you know, and like if you're in a grouchy mood or a tired mood, take a break. Your body, your spirit needs a break. So, yeah.
It's so funny. I pulled Archangel Gabriel Resurrection.
Okay.
So there's something here about a reckoning, about a transformation, about letting go in order to have that rebirth. Spring is upon us. Spring is just a few weeks away here in the Northern Hemisphere. And so, what do you need to release in order to allow those seeds to pop up and sprout? I feel like it's a good week to get in touch with creativity. We have a very creative guest on the show today with Marilyn Segal. I feel like it's a week to get in touch with your creativity. And I was writing about this in my newsletter. There's studies that show people who engage in creative hobbies regularly show higher levels of happiness. When you engage in art making, it lowers your stress hormones, it lowers your heart rate and blood pressure. And so there's physiological reasons why creativity is therapeutic, but there's also, like in your book, the just the funness of it, the imagination, the
I'm looking at what page did you go on?
now I can't get it back. Now I'm on 81. Our thoughts cause pain, and these thoughts usually sound like this. I have so and so for doing this to me. I'm fat. You make me so angry. I'm not worthy. Oh, excuse me. I hate so and so for doing this to me. You're a pain in the blank. I'm not deserving. You're full of blank. I can't believe I made such a stupid blank. And
And
I love the
and oh, the
illustration.
little person, yeah. And you know what? It's on 81, which is old endings, new beginnings.
Ooh,
So
that's also
yeah,
the
and
year of
yeah,
my birth. What is that saying to me? And then the next page is, and so Endings and beginnings is so I know, sometimes I've got some stinking thinking and I need to be able to it's so funny. Once I'm aware of the thoughts, I can transform them. But sometimes they just come in and then I don't realize till a few minutes later, oh, I've been focusing on something silly. And now I have the awareness and the ability to shift it, let it go. The next page says, life is funny and life has many pieces to its puzzle. So, and with these pieces, you have a free will. You can choose which direction to take. I feel this is a message for this week as well, to be able to become more aware of our limiting beliefs, to become more aware if we have any of those. How would you describe those thoughts? Limiting, lower vibrational.
Well, when your spirit's not happy,
Yeah.
you're carrying that the mindset is low and a low peak, a low peak, a low level.
Yeah.
Um, because your spirit wants to be happy. Your spirit wants fun. That's what we're here for. So if it's we all have idiosyncrasies that we know when we do something, we're going to lower our vibration. But we go ahead and do it because it's a habit. We got to change habits that we've outgrown. Because as we evolve, we have things that will pull us back. And those are our tests. And so even with me, I love my little cookies. And I don't drink. Every once in a while, I'll have a glass of wine. But I know it lowers my vibration, but it does taste good because I'm human.
Yeah.
So I allow myself to do what I need to do, and then I'll pull myself back up, or I'll take a nap or whatever. But we all do things that lower our vibrations. But you also know that if you're not happy, you're not in a higher vibration.
Yeah.
It's what you're thinking is creating the angst in the body.
So as we're more aware of our lower vibrational thoughts, we can do something about it and choose thoughts that are more in alignment with our spirit and our true self. And that raises our vibration so we can be more in tune with our natural state, our natural state of happiness, our inner being's natural state.
And happiness is our birthright. If we just understood happiness is our birthright, and whatever you need to do to make your to get yourself, and not make because you can't make it, but whatever stuff you need to remove to help you move into a new level of well-being. And you've been to my healing journeys, and what I do is I help clear. I'm not doing it, but I have a team that helps me do it, and I clear your path for you. It's up to you to keep it up there. And then I bring in the correct frequencies to raise you up to that new level of well-being, emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually, physiologically, psychologically. It's up to you to keep on going, not drop back. Because I remember after my instantaneous healing, my body was clear, but when people would come into my vibration, I could feel what was going on in them.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, whoa. And then I might have two steps forward and one step back, but we're always wanting to feel better. We're always wanting to feel better.
It's all about vibration and being aware of your vibration.
Right.
I also pulled Joe feel or IO feel, depending on your angelic interpretation, beauty.
Beauty.
So there comes the creativity and the beauty. I'm feeling like this is one of those portal weeks. We're in Mercury retrograde, we just had that eclipse. I feel like this is one of those portal weeks where we're in touch with the past. We might be in touch with people from our past or memories from our past or our past selves. And I feel like this might be one of those weeks where it does feel like one of those portals where we can do some healing from the past in the present and be able to release, forgive ourselves, forgive other people, clean up our vibration around it. And maybe even you can't change the past, but you can change your response to it and your connection with it. I feel like this might be either in person, you're maybe having the opportunity to clean up a relationship, make amends, um, some sort of repair. It may be internally with you and your relationship with something in the past. So the angels are here to help. Your spirit guides are here to help. What do you feel like would be an angel you might call on, Marilyn, for help with healing the past?
Wow, that, not the past. I do it daily.
Yeah.
Yeah, every night before I go to bed, I call in Archangel Michael and Raphael. Michael to clean up my energy fields, Raphael to, help me transmute it, but also bring in the violet flame to
Mm,
transmute things that I can't see or I don't know about. Um, you don't, you, there's no need to go looking for what you need to heal
I
because
agree.
it's gonna come up.
I
So,
agree.
so if you're, I would just start going to, seeking out like-minded people or saying, angels, I'm curious to know about other vibrations. Can you lead me to a meditation class? Can you lead me to a Reiki class? Can you lead me to a healing touch class? Can you lead me to a drumming class? Can you lead me to an art class? Can you lead me to a healer? You
Mm.
know, those are the questions I would ask. I mean, yeah, those are the questions I would ask.
Well, I love the practice of the violet flame and calling in Michael and Raphael and for those specific reasons and you've developed your process and ritual for doing that and it's not so different than what I do. And I think the angels they can be so helpful on your team as you're doing the work of maintaining your cleaning your energy and learning your lessons and being able to let go of what no longer serves you as you brought up for this week. Marilyn, it has been such a joy to have you on the show. I want to thank you again for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we talked about angels, we talked about your healing journey. I was so just inspired and I just enjoy connecting with your vibration. If people would like to find out more about you, your services, your books, where can they find out more?
They can just go to my website. You can message me. My email's on there. Marilyn Segal.com. MarilynSegal.com. That's the easiest.
Marilyn, thank you so much for coming on the show. And I want to thank everyone for tuning in, and I look forward to connecting with you next group video or session. Have a great week.
Thank you. You too. Have a great
Thank
one.
you.